What's up, guys? Welcome to All Signs Tarot for May 2025. What's up, Shannon? Nice to see you. What's up, Dominic? What's up, Karen? Hello. I hope you guys have been having a really great week. I'm so glad it's the weekend. Not for me, because it really doesn't matter, but for everyone else. What's up, Shannon? Yee. What's up, Chris? Good to see you too, Karen. I just got back from my mom's house with my best friend. My best friend is, as I told you guys last week or this week, he's in from New York. And so he's over there laying on the couch and watching his little reality show. Oh, no. I need to wipe this down. We've had a pretty good time so far. Okay, let me wipe this off here. There we go. Got a little Taco Bell on my AirPods. Classy. All right. What's up, Vanessa? Nice to see you, baby. Self-reflection. Oh no, are you okay? I don't think anyone's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and leave that out for the rest of the evening. My nostrils are too skinny to keep that damn thing in. Anyway, you guys, welcome to All Signs Tarot. We're going to be taking a look at May 2025 for you guys. We're going to take a look maybe at some career, at love, all those good things. Of course, you know, I'm keen on the astrology, so to speak, so I'm definitely going to keep that in mind when I'm reading your guys' readings. As always, you can check for any placement. Quite frankly, it really doesn't matter. But if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, I'm okay with that as well if you are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I keep getting my Hypsee stream canceled, and I don't know why. So, uh, yeah, that just keeps essentially happening. So, if you guys want to get in a super chat question right now, I would go ahead and do that within the next 15 minutes before I hit go live on the Hypsee website. Okay, so something to keep in mind. Oh, cool. This is reversed. I love that. Let me go ahead and transform this. I didn't do that either. There we go. Yay. Okay. Awesome. Alrighty. Let's see. All right, so for May, we're having a full moon in Scorpio. So that looks pretty intense. I don't think it's going to be as bad as everybody acts like it is, but I mean, maybe, who knows, right? Who the hell am I? Let's see here. What is that making? We have that full moon. It's going to make a trine to Saturn. So I feel like whatever is ending is either likely for good, or whatever it is that we're solidifying is likely for good or going to be for a long time. It's going to be a more of a wider orb, but I mean, it's still Saturn. So there's an opposition to Uranus. So I feel like there may be something that's a little bit shocking. I feel like the Taurus part of your chart is going to have a little bit of a surprising change. And opposition is obviously a little bit more difficult. So the full moon in Scorpio is a deep culmination or revelation or solidification or ending around scorpionic matters. So our intimate relationships, this can be around other people's money, secrets, things that we've been keeping, things that other people have been keeping. And full moons are already quite revealing as is. And so then when you put it in Scorpio, it gives it even more of a, I don't want to say like a shock factor, but it gives it more depth. It gives it a lot more layer because Scorpio is such a deep, deep sign. It's very vulnerable. But you know, it doesn't have to be all bad. I mean, I can definitely see us having some very deep conversations with people. And I don't think, I think it'll be what we make of it, just like with any new moon or full moon. And then also, we're going to be having a new moon in Gemini that's happening on May 27th. So the full moon in Scorpio is May 12th. The new moon in Gemini is May 27th. And there's a new beginning happening in the Gemini part of your chart. And so not only that, but this new moon is conjunct Mercury. Not exactly conjunct, but it's going to lead up to that. So I think that this new moon is definitely a little bit more interesting for me than the full moon in Scorpio, although any moon in Scorpio is going to be interesting. Okay. But I think that this one has a little bit more pep in its step, right? So Gemini is a lot more playful and freedom loving and exciting and da 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 da, right? It's very playful. It can be a little bit more superficial, but not in a bad way, right? It can be about learning. It can be about writing our thoughts. And there's going to be a trine to Pluto. So I feel like this is going to be very transformative. I feel like we are gaining power or influence in some kind of way, or we have help from a very influential person, or there's something that's changing for the better in regards to how we think. And then shortly after that, Mercury is going to conjunct the sun. So whatever we're beginning then, shortly thereafter, Mercury, there's going to be a Mercury Cazimi. So that's when Mercury is in the heart of the sun. And this is kind of almost like a rebirth in some way, a purification of Mercury, right? So if Mercury rules your seventh house, there can be a purification or a better understanding that you may have in regards to your one-on-one relationships and your intimate partnerships. So that Gemini part of your chart is really going to get a kickstart, a jump start. So I think that that's really positive. I'm excited for it. And not to mention, like, Jupiter's there. It's not like in a conjunction to Jupiter or anything like that, but Jupiter is there. So I prefer that as well. Then we have Mercury, which is the ruler, is going to be making a sextile to Saturn during this time. It's also going to be making an out of sign conjunction to Uranus and Taurus, which I'm not really going to pay too much attention to, but it's still Uranus. So this could be something where we're like breaking free in some way from an old paradigm or an old way of thinking or some old values or something like that. And then there's a sextile to Neptune as well. So you can see even creativity or writers or poets or something like that creating an opportunity or having an opportunity to express themselves in a way that is meaningful to them. So let's go ahead and move on. Let me check in with you guys. I hope you're doing well. My Chiron is in Gemini too. I have Chiron conjunct Lilith in Gemini. So Jupiter is hitting that. Jupiter's going to hit my Lilith as well. Hope it's all good stuff. You know what I mean? I'm a Taurus moon, same. That astrologer that you posted about is spot on. So thank you for that. Yeah, Rux is fabulous. Absolutely. Rux is absolutely incredible. She's the only person that I've ever gotten a reading from. So make sure you guys go check her out. It's nice to see you, Kinez. What's up, Lori? No worry, Lori, we got it. We got it in the bag. We'll figure it out. I'm sweating my ass off, girl. All right, well, what have you guys been doing this week? Anything interesting? Are you guys feeling this Mars Pluto opposition at all? Do you guys feel like you're feeling it? I know I'm gonna feel it. Like, I'm kind of feeling it. This Mars opposite Pluto very much. I mean, I think about early November, I think about early January and like what was going on during that time. And I will say it's quite similar themes, you know. And oppositions, when you see oppositions, it a lot of the times, most of the time it involves another person directly. So, I mean, Mars, the god of war, you know, the frat boy that wants to kick your ass after too many shots, and then Pluto, he will kill you, right? Excuse me. Definitely not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite. I'm feeling it a little bit, but I believe it's going to be exact tomorrow. So I don't know why I scheduled a client natal chart reading for tomorrow. I didn't even think about it. I wish I would have done that. What's up, Enigma? Nice to see you. Oh, also, I got this lip gloss. My best friend, he's started a makeup line and a skincare line. This is a pH lip gloss, and it doesn't have like a specific color. It mutates itself to match your pH level. I thought that was so cool. I thought that was so cool. It's like my favorite lip gloss. I love it. I can't wait till he comes out with his website so I can promote his stuff. I hope it's not bad. Well, I mean, it's uncomfortable. I mean, Mars opposite Pluto. It's not like Venus opposite Jupiter, where it's like, ah, yeah, maybe too much of a good thing, right? Um, it's Mars opposite Pluto, you know? And so it's volatility. Sometimes in, you know, I'm not trying to scare, obviously, like don't go starting fights out at the bar, like ever, but certainly not during this time, okay? Like this is not the time to start arguments. But Mars wants to kick your ass, right? Mars wants to cut, it wants to sever, it's trying to cut something out, but it's in Leo. So this is a very proud sign. This is a very proud sign. This is about me, 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 right? There's nothing wrong with Mars and Leo, but particularly when you put Mars and Leo with the opposition to Pluto, it really feels like it's going to bring out the worst in Mars. Um, you know, and so with Pluto there in Aquarius, and it's funny because all the Luigi Mangione stuff is happening right now. All the Luigi Mangione stuff is happening right now, and I understand they're trying to give him the death penalty, and I saw some more stuff on that today, and I'm just like, ugh, yikes. It's just very interesting. It's just all very choreographed, it feels. But then when you put Mars in Leo, which is like a lot of pride, it's about me, 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 and my identity, and then you oppose it to Pluto, which is it's the more powerful planet. Pluto's the higher octave, and it's in Aquarius. Aquarius isn't about me, me, me. It's about we. It's about all of us as a whole. Not like me and you like Libra where it's me and a partner. It's us as a whole, us as a community. And so I feel like there's definitely going to be those kind of dynamics playing out in real time, and I feel like we're going to see a lot of that stuff on social media. I feel like we're going to see a lot of political stuff around this, where it may be where there are certain people acting very self-serving, like a certain group of people acting very self-serving, or a leader acting very self-serving. And then, you know, Pluto and Aquarius, power to the people. But thing about Pluto is very destructive, but not for nothing. It wants to take and it wants to break something down, kind of like the Tower in Tarot, where it breaks something down to ashes because it has a weak system. And so I feel like Pluto being in Aquarius, which is about the people, I feel like it's trying to destruct some kind of dynamic that we have as a whole. And I feel like it's almost trying to it's trying to empower the people in a way to learn how to work together, to learn how to come together to create a better future. Aquarius is about the future. So I feel like that's what's going on, but it's going to be up against that Mars, but it's going to take community. It's going to take us being able to care more about each other as opposed to just ourselves and our own personal narratives and our own personal goals, etc. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out on the world stage. Right, Chris? Absolutely. What's up, Cosmic Sparkles? Um, let me see. Hey Gigi, yours is due tomorrow. Um, so I will probably either send it to you tonight I was just looking on the thing. I will probably send it tonight or I will send it tomorrow morning. Okay. But yeah, I got you. I see it. So yeah. Okay, guys. What's up, Leia? All right, last chance to go get your 15% off for Hypsee. And then I got to start this stream. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Also, I hope you guys are excited. Yay! I got my top camera back. Woo! So happy about that. My Mars is in Taurus. That's cool. Mars doesn't really like being in Taurus. Y'all are stubborn as hell, I will say. Stubborn as hell. I wouldn't mess with Mars in Taurus personally. Not like, I mean, like, I wouldn't try to rile them up. I watched some of your old members' videos. Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. Wow. I forgot that those are still there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do this. All right. Live stream events. Start live event. All right, guys. White tea boxers kind of day here. Okay. Wait, what are tea boxers? Oh, the bleach blonde? No, never. I'll never go back to that. What's up, Carmen? Really? You're a Mars and Aries? I'm a little surprised about that, to be honest. You don't really seem like a Mars and Aries. Yeah, no, I would never go back to bleach blonde ever. I really prefer the more like natural vibe I got going on here with some little bit of highlights, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. I really like it. I feel like it doesn't that felt like a costume, you know? Cuz it kind of was. It was like a costume. And it was just too much. And the amount of makeup that I felt like I had to wear to cover my insecurities and like the all the bleach to feel like I had to cover up everything that I was. And I'm just like, no, I would never go back there. That was like it felt like I was putting on a costume every day. That's what it felt like a mascot, but you wear the suit every day. You know, you see those suits that the mascots wear at like basketball games, or that's what it felt like. Thanks a lot, Shannon. Mine is bleach blonde. Well, there's nothing wrong with bleach blonde, but it just for me, like everybody dyes their hair a certain color for like a certain reason. Maybe just that's what they like. And that's what I liked at the time, but it was because it made me feel as though I nobody could see how ugly I thought I was. That's the truth. So I would do like the super long bright nails. I would pump up my lips out to here. And there's nothing wrong with getting your lips done. I'm an absolute firm believer in plastic surgery and all of those things. Okay. But I was overpowering my own natural beauty instead of like embracing it and maybe just, enhancing it a bit. I was like full blown, like painting myself. I don't like that. I used to, but I don't know if I actually liked it because I actually liked it or because I felt I had to do that because I thought I was so ugly. Facts. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, World Oracle. It's nice to see you. It looks right on me. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't think it looked right on me. It would definitely wash me out. What's up, Em? How you doing? Oh, thank you so much for sending a question. I wear no foundation, never dyed my hair before, but sometimes I do feel bland. You know what the one thing I'll say is I have really red undertones into my skin, so I wear like a kind of like a green BB cream just to even it out, and then I just wear the tinted SPF. If I wear foundation, it's like for a very rare occasion. But there's nothing wrong with wearing foundation either, you know? If I can glam it up, time and a place, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always gonna rock the lashes, baby. I'm always gonna rock the lashes. I'm always gonna rock the lashes till I die in the grave, okay? They're gonna send me in some gorgeous lashes in the grave. period. Oh, Priscilla. Well, that is so kind. I'm sure that she is stunning, but I cannot imagine I'm even a mild compare. There's no way. But that was very kind. Thank you. I wear very little makeup. That's good. Yeah, that's what's up. Oh, well, thanks, Enigma. Well, I don't think I'm really naturally beautiful. No, that's not what I mean. I don't think I'm like, no. I look definitely better with a little bit of something on. Absolutely. Because otherwise I look like a naked mole rat. That's what's up, World Oracle. Yeah, I don't have that. I very much look like my dad. I very much look like my dad. I saw you beautiful from the start, a little crazy, but beautiful face. Well, yeah, you're crazy too, okay? It takes one to know one. Yeah, I agree, Karen. Just mascara-tastic for me. That's what's up. Oh, thanks, Priscilla. That's very kind. Yeah, no, I love the big eyelashes. I think that's just always gonna be a thing because I was experimenting a lot and like I tried to do the no eyelash thing. No, I'm sorry. That's great. We love that you guys have naturally long lashes and all of that. I don't. And even if I had like decent eyelashes, I would probably still the wear the big lashes because I absolutely love it. Like I just do. I still get Botox, you know. I haven't had my lips done since 2020, but I would probably get like a little touch up right here, but nothing crazy, just very, very light, you know, if I decided to. But I'm okay right now. Why are you so funny? But it's not cool talking about yourself that way, V. Well, thanks, but it's me, so I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm the shit, and I da 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 da, you know, and like, I do feel like I look a little bit like a naked mole rat, like when I don't have eyelashes on. Like that's okay. I'm not butthurt about it. It is what it is. You know, I'm not perfect. What's up, Michaela? That's what my daughter does. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, you know? All right, guys. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Thank you so much. So, you guys, welcome to All Signs Tarot. We're going to be taking a look at May 2025 for your sign, whether you are a Venus in Libra or an Aries rising. It doesn't matter. Check for any of your placements, honestly, it literally doesn't matter. If you want to book a super chat question during this live to get your cards read live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, then you can do so at violettaalexis.com. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. We'll start with Pisces this time. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Almost said Aries. All right, Pisces, let's go ahead and take a look at you. What's up, Leo, Empress? All righty. Okay. Okay. Pisces, the theme is the Four of Cups. So there's a little bit of disappointment here. The Nine of Cups. Okay. Not totally disappointing then. The Seven of Wands reversed. Okay. So it's interesting to me because it seems like you've had your fill of something. You're getting what it is that you desire, but you're like, is this enough? Is this enough? Or have I had too much of a good thing? Have I overdrank my fill? That's kind of where you're at. The Seven of Wands in reverse tells me that you may feel challenged by another person or in your career or in some kind of competitive environment. But what I want to say with this Pisces specifically for May, if you're kind of feeling like um, something is getting you down, or you're feeling intimidated in some kind of way, or you feel like you can't hack it, you already have what you want. I feel like you just want more of something, but and forgive me for saying, but it is about appreciating what it is that you have this month specifically that's going to get you more of what you want. So try not to get too discouraged too quickly. Okay. Mm. You have the Ace of Swords and the Death card next to the Four of Cups. What's influencing that? The Hierophant reversed. I feel like this has something to do with the full moon in Scorpio. Just because the Hierophant is Taurus, that full moon is in Scorpio is opposing Uranus in Taurus. So I feel like look around maybe the week before, a couple weeks after that full moon in Scorpio that's happening on May 12th. I feel like this is kind of what this is about. Something is going to happen that it may shock you, or it may surprise you in some way. And it's going to cause change. It may even cause an ending. But what it's really going to change is your mind about things. Now, I want to touch this with a grain of salt because I don't want you to think that I'm judging you, or I don't want you to think I'm attacking you in any capacity. But what I will say is that sometimes we go about our day and we don't understand how lucky we are for certain things, certain people, a good night's sleep, um, a car that runs well, right? And then something happens where we lose said thing, right? I'm not saying like someone's gonna die or anything like that, but it seems like some loss that you're acquiring, because I do feel like loss is something that you acquire because it breeds wisdom and it also breeds gratitude. And to me, this is something being taken or something outside of your control that's changing in a way that's surprising to you, but it's to rebuild the fundamental structure of your mind and the way that you think about things, the way that you appreciate things. And life will no longer look so black and white. It will start to have color again. You have the Nine of Cups here, Queen of Pentacles. God, it reminds me of that song, Backstreet Boys, the girl who had everything. Or was that In Sync? I can't remember. The Nine of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles with the Seven of Swords. Strategy is getting you far. You seem to be pretty financially stable. I mean, what's not to love? You're financially stable. You seem to be taking very good care of yourself. You seem to be even meeting your financial goals. I do want to see that Seven of Swords, the Three of Cups in reverse. A lot of you are avoiding either a certain group of people or a certain person, third party situations, or you're involved in some kind of drama because of some sneaky thing that was happening behind the scenes. But to me, because you have so much going for you this month, in the month of May, it seems like you are acting with strategy in order to avoid it or to maneuver through it in a different way. So it's like this energy of like there's a battle that it feels like you don't really need to fight, because it feels like if you like, how do I explain this? When I was on a live streaming platform, I was very popular in good and bad ways, okay? And I was very assertive and I just kind of did my own thing. Well, there was a lot of people that hated me because of how much success I had so quickly. And people used to start crap all the time with me. And then because I was both hated and loved, they found that hating me publicly made them money, especially if I retaliated. And when I would retaliate, more of the people that very much disliked me would rally over there and financially support those people. And of course, I made a lot of money from my people who hated those people, right? So, what I want to say is that when I would ignore it, most of the time they would just wear themselves out. And I would still have my money in my pocket or my sanity, right? For the most part. And they would keep trying, but they would just kind of miss. They would shoot and miss. Let them shoot and let them miss. And what I mean by that is don't give some kind of reaction, because you will not realize that you're figuratively feeding this person or these people. You have the 7 of Wands reversed, the Queen of Cups, and the 4 of Swords. There may be love here, okay? Why is the 7 of Swords reversed? The Page of Cups. It seems like some kind of scenario that you're going through where it may feel competitive, or it may feel like you're being attacked, or it may feel like something of that nature is happening. I feel like you're showing up in love as opposed to, yeah, let me pick up my sword since you have a sword kind of thing. Seems like you're throwing it down. You don't really care. You're minding your business with that 4 of Swords. You seem to be very healed. If you guys are in a relationship, or if you guys are looking for love, I think that this may be the month that's possible for you to find it, with that Page of Cups and that Queen of Cups there. If you're already in a relationship, it feels like it's going well. It seems like we're putting the sword down, or somebody's putting the sword down as opposed to attempting to fight. So that looks positive for me. I guess I'll just do this. Your advice is the 8 of Cups reversed and the Sun. So this is about yourself. This is about you. This is about owning your own truth, your identity, who you are. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't return to something from the past, or an old way of thinking, or an old way of dealing with people, or an old way of doing something that's going to betray who you are. It doesn't need to be revisited, is what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Pisces. I really appreciate it. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, let's see. Okay. What's up, Kismet? How you doing? All right, Aquarius. 5 of Wands reversed for your energy. 10 of Pentacles reversed. And then we have the Knight of Swords. You're not fighting for something to be stable anymore. Like you're not fighting for it anymore. It doesn't even feel like your ego's involved in it. I feel like there's something that your ego was involved in before that you are releasing. Not like you're releasing the fight per se, but you're kind of sacrificing your dog in it, like your dog in the fight. And by dog I mean ego. Because there's something that your ego has been attached to that has been causing you a lot of internal conflict, potentially external drama, something like that, and you're letting go of that because it feels as though you're trying to keep something afloat that you don't want to anymore, or it's too tiring to do it. And it could be this 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe it's a business, maybe it's a marriage, maybe, it's something that had either you wanted it to get off the ground, you saw it as part of your future, or it was and is not really anymore. And so to me, with that Knight of Swords, you're more so figuring out like what's next, or maybe you're even looking for answers, but you are kind of dropping the ego when it comes to it. The Page of Pentacles reverse, the Hermit, because you're realizing it's not about them, or it's not about that thing, or it's not about the future with this thing or this thing that you were building. It's about you. It's about you not looking outside of yourself for who you are. I forgot to turn on this light. Sorry. There we go. Okay, that's a bit better. Whoa, no, that's sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the read. Sorry about that. That was way too freaking bright. Because you had been putting a big effort into something for a while, I think. And I think a lot of it was because you were trying to hold it afloat, or, oh my God, it's like when it reminds me of somebody who's in a boat and the boat's sinking, and the more water, you just see like the water rising up in the boat, and this person's just like has a bucket and they're just trying to, oh, oh, oh. It's like at this point, it'd just be better to float your ass down to the shore. You know what I'm saying? And so I think you're kind of realizing you got to take a deep dive and you got to jump out of the boat, even if it's a little scary. It's very much a solo journey. The Hermit is not an easy journey. It's a 9. First of all, I'm a life path 9. Maybe some of you guys are, but it's 9. It's the Hermit. It's kind of a dark night of the soul a little bit. But I don't think it's like not for nothing. I think you will find the joy that you've been looking for inside of yourself, whatever that looks like for you. The 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, the 9 of Pentacles. Speaking of nines, the Phoenix reversed. Okay. I wonder if this is being triggered by another person. I really feel like this is being triggered by another person because this is kind of what's happening external from you. So it seems like something that you had established with another individual, or maybe something that you really saw in your future. There's someone here who's maybe backing out from that to focus on a more independent path with that 9 of Pentacles. Because the 9, like I said, well, the 9s are individuality. It's about self. It's about the individual person. And with that Phoenix reverse, it makes me feel like whatever this was holding this person back, maybe from releasing something or from transforming themselves. And so what I'm seeing is that you and this other person, whoever this is, I don't know if it's your mom, I don't know who it is, but you guys are on your own solo journey. Yours just seems to be more, I don't want to say spiritual, because I think that like every journey is spiritual, but it's more, it's a little darker. Why is that Phoenix reversed? There's something financial here. There's a financial component to whatever this is. And something wasn't changing. Like, for instance, okay, let's say that this was a child. Okay, I don't know. Let's say that this was a child. And no, let's say it was a partner. Let's say this was a partner who financially depended on you for a while. And now they're like, yeah, I don't know if that's really working for me. I need to like do my own thing. I need to be. So because they realized that something about their value they didn't feel like was changing, because part of their value is somehow tied to that. And I think it's important to be independent. But there's a part of you, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's something like this. And you're also learning how to be on your own just in a different way. And I'm not saying you don't know how to be on your own, but there's a certain part of you that doesn't. Or there's a certain part of you, just like everybody else, that's looking for something external in order to fulfill some kind of perceived void. Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, Temperance. Wow. Talk about peace of mind. Because this is the thing, I think that you're letting go of the egoic part about it, like your ego's attachment to this, and you're like chalking it up to kind of a missed opportunity, but there's something to learn here. And once again, it's not about another person. It's not about anything outside of yourself. It's about you. And here, you know that. And I think that you're going to go looking for answers, not just inside of yourself, but outside of yourself as well. So that can be like talking to a therapist. That can be asking a friend, be honest with me, what you really think when it comes to this about me, or whatever. And you're finding peace within those answers. So it could be worse where you go seeking answers and you don't like the answers that you find, or you go seeking answers, you find them, and they bring you more peace, which is essentially going to bring you peace of mind. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening for you. Your advice is the Eight of Pentacles and the King of Wands. This is really about mastering your level of confidence. True confidence, not ego. The King of Wands in reverse, he's all about ego, right? Or she's all about ego, whatever gender you identify with. But the King of Wands in the upright is a very confident in who they are. They're a self-starter. They're a leader. And I think that this is something that you're learning to master. I think you're learning to master your ego. I think you're learning to master yourself, your confidence, because there is a difference between ego and confidence, as we all know. And you're finding that line, and you're learning how to rein your ego in like a monstrous beast that you now know how to control. And it's because of this move that you're making. So whatever your ego is attached to here, you're like, you know what? I understand that my ego is attached to this and not really my heart, or maybe not really my soul, whatever. And so because there's that realization, because there's that self-awareness and that acceptance, you are able to be more clear about where you're going or who you want to be, and you're liking the answers that you find. And so I feel like focus on that. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Oh, what's up, Selena? Thank you. What's up, Faye? Nice to see you. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. How you doing? Welcome, Cappy. Let's go ahead and take a look at your... That's a little too loud. I got to turn that down. One sec. Okay. Thank you. All right, Capricorn, let's see. You're in the energy of the Knight of Cups. Let's take a look at love. The Emperor in reverse. Let's take a look at career. Seven of Cups, or hobbies, whatever it is that you're doing in your spare time. This is interesting. I mean, you're definitely in an energy of lovey-dovey fantasy. This is Venus in Scorpio. I believe this full moon in Scorpio that is occurring is actually happening in the decan of Venus. So, like I said, I don't feel like it's going to be a terrible full moon, despite what some people are saying. But you want to indulge in fantasy, poetry, music, art, acting, maybe something like that. But you seem to have a lot of options with what it is or whom it is that you're pursuing. Okay. Now, if you're already partnered, then this may be you really really going for it, pulling out all the stops, all the whistles, and just being very genuine and being very heartfelt. What I want to say is that Emperor in reverse, this can definitely lead to somebody who is having a hard time detaching from the small problems in order to see the big picture. This can be somebody who is very controlling, can be very cold or mean, passive aggressive in some way. So we'll see kind of what that's about. The Ten of Cups reversed. Well, that's what that's about. And the Six of Cups. Oh man, this is like the hopeless romantic, in my opinion. This is the hopeless romantic. This is the person that's feeding off of memories in order to use it as their muse to create something beautiful, or even use those experiences as a muse to find somebody that's for them if a relationship didn't work out with that 10 of cups. Now, if this is a relationship that you're already currently in, or this is someone you're talking to, it seems like there's this potential idealization of a particular relationship, or even just like a relationship in general, of like what you want. But it can also represent when we're trying our hardest or we're not really getting somewhere, and we're trying to put a big smile on our faces when we're actually a bit unhappy. Something isn't as harmonious as we hoped it would be. But that doesn't mean you're not trying. Once again, it's this hopeless romantic, or hopeful romantic rather, with that Knight of Cups and that Six of Cups. And there's a lot of positive memories in the chamber. And that's what it feels like you're firing off from. That's what it feels like you're feeding from. And I want to see why that Ten of Cups is reversed. The Ace of Wands. You don't care, do you? It feels like you really want something to work. You're very inspired by your sexual attraction to a particular person, sex in general, okay, if you're single. But it's just that passion for having a really beautiful relationship that I think that you want at the end of the day. Um, you are thinking about someone. A lot of you are thinking about a very specific person, though, like in particular. And it's a beautiful energy. The Emperor, the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups reversed. Why is this Emperor reversed? The King of Cups reversed. Okay. This is somebody in your life. Now I don't know if they're new, but I don't think they're new because that Five of Cups is reversed. This is somebody you seem to have history with. This can be somebody who is like, if you did something, okay, this can be somebody who's avoiding forgiving you because they want control over that situation. And what I mean by that is like hold it over your head, always, throw it in your face in some way. Because while I love the Five of Cups in reverse, don't get me wrong, and the Two of Swords, this can be like we're trying to have a peace treaty here, right? We're trying to have a bit of a truce. So I like it. But the Emperor in reverse makes me feel, especially clarified by the King of Cups in reverse, that there may be somebody here who's just talking a good game or playing a good game for peace's sake, but it may not be 100% genuine. It may be because there's something that this person is attempting to get from you. So they know that they have to act in a certain way in order to get what it is that they want. Career, hobbies, other things. You have the Seven of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Hangman reverse. Okay. What's that Hangman reverse about? The King of Swords. You may feel like you're getting to a point where you have to take a more logical approach when it comes to your career, when it comes to your hobbies, when it comes to really anything in your life that you've been fantasizing about. Because you may realize that something isn't necessarily a reality, and you may realize that it was deceptive. And so this may cause you to have to move on from that, where you're like, yeah, I have to move to calmer waters. I can't really deal with that. But you are still having a hard time gaining full perspective. It's almost like you're coming out of a fog, but you still have fog brain. You're still, it's almost like when, and I'm not saying that anybody in your life is a narcissist, but it reminds me of when you get in a relationship with a narcissist and you're kind of being taken for a ride, but they really don't love or care about you at all. It's all about their own self-serving. And then when they discard you, you feel like you've been gaslit for however long you've been with said person. And you're still trying to cope with the reality that that wasn't a reality. And then you question if it was a reality altogether. You know what I'm saying? So there's something that you may be questioning and you're trying to logisticize your way through it, but you're having a hard time because you're still kind of stuck in the fog a bit, which is natural. Um, Five of Swords, Page of Swords. So this is your advice. Okay. If you go looking, you may find. And you may not always find what it is that you like. Sometimes it's better to just simply accept the answer or the experience at face value and take it for what it is instead of attempting to dig. When you dig, you tend to get your hands dirty and things can get a little bit worse from there. I think what it's telling you is how much do you really want to know? Or rather, how much do you think that you actually want to know? And are you willing to hurt yourself in order to gain more of what you don't like? So, for instance, let's say that this is about an ex and you're like, oh God, well, I think that they're maybe seeing somebody else, and you're thinking about unblocking them just for a minute so that way you can go and look at their Instagram page, and you're thinking about it and you're thinking about it and you're thinking about it, and then you're like, no, I better not. You're going back and forth, and then you do it, and then you find what you were looking for, but it may not be what you wanted to see. And I know that sounds really shitty, and I know that sounds really crappy, but it is about the acceptance and how much more do you want to find in order to confirm something that you already know. Because I think what you're looking for is a confirmation of the opposite. So I would just kind of pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? I know that sounds really negative, but there is something in this for you. You're just not going to see it in the moment. Thank you so much, Capricorn. That is what I have for you. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Thank you so much. Oh, God, I need a back rub so bad. All right. What's up, Aesthetic Delta? What's up, Underdog? What's up, Lace? What's up, Intuition? All right. Sagittarius. Let's see. What's going on, Sag? Let's see what you have going on in May. You have the Strength reversed. Okay. Justice reversed for love you may be dealing with. And then you have the Eight of Wands reversed. Right, there we go. Okay. Well, you may be having a little bit of a moment of weakness, Sagittarius. I think that, damn, these readings are sounding rah, rah. But you may feel like something is unjustified here. You may be going through a court case at this time. It can feel like you're being treated unfairly in some kind of way. What I want to say is don't react, okay? Because that Strength in reverse kind of makes me feel like that could be the case for career, hobbies, anything else in your life, just generally speaking. You have the Eight of Wands in reverse. This can be block communication, or this can feel like you keep trying to press for something and press for something that isn't really happening. It can feel like you're pressing until you kind of break, or you're trying too hard in some kind of way. This can also be somebody who is forcing something on you that you don't necessarily want to agree to or consent to. So let's see what that's about. So we have the Strength in reverse with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Two of Pentacles reversed. I think you're kind of biting off more than you can chew, in my opinion, Sagittarius. And it's like this, it's almost like your ego is kind of attached to whatever this thing is that you're taking on. And it could be something financially, or it could be career, but there's a lot of pride in whatever it is, because there's a lot of attention or fixation around what others think about your performance, or what others think about this specific scenario. But what you're doing is you're trying to prove something, but it's making you lose your mind a little bit. You're kind of off your rocker a bit. You're, once again, biting off more than you can chew. You're putting too much on your back that you just don't need to. And then what that's doing to you is you're starting to criticize yourself even more because of the stuff that you keep piling onto your back that you can't handle. So what I want to say with this is, you don't need to try too hard for anyone. I would be aware of caring too much about how you're being perceived towards a certain person, towards a certain group of people in some way, shape, or form, and really kind of dropping it, or just trying to move away from it, or maybe just taking some space to really rethink things instead of piling more onto your plate. Because it feels like it's a lot, and because you very much care about how this thing is perceived or what have you, it's it's causing you to break a bit. And don't when it comes to like retail therapy, things like that, you may find yourself coping in that way this month, so be cautious of it. Okay, you have the Justice, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Fool reversed. Something is not ready yet, what I want to say, when it comes to love or dating, romance, things like that. It feels like something is not quite ready yet, and something may not even be equal per se. And I don't know if this is the same thing as this, where you were trying hard or you cared a lot about what other people thought, but it's not, it doesn't make sense. Or the feelings aren't reciprocal, or maybe they are in some way, but the actions really aren't there. And usually our actions are a reflection of how we feel about something. So I like that the Wheel of Fortune is here, because it shows me that there's kind of a hands off the wheel approach. Maybe this person has that approach, but there's a hands off the wheel approach. There's this let go and let God, and that might even be you, because it's Jupiter. So you may be kind of getting to this point where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to drop it, because I can't sit here and focus on or micromanage what this person is doing and what they're not doing, and da 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 da. And so to the point where you drive yourself crazy. And then when this person has an inaction or takes an action that you don't like, you feel like it's reflective of your worth or who you are, which drives you even more crazy, which also picks away at your pride or your ego or your self-esteem or whatever it is. And so it's important not to equate somebody else's actions to your worth. You see what I'm saying? So it feels like there's more of a hands off the wheel approach, because we're not quite ready to trust something yet. And I think that that would be accurate. We have, for career, hobbies, or anything else, we have the Eight of Wands reversed with the Devil and the Six of Wands reversed. Okay. Well, All right. It certainly feels like you have people trying you here, or you have people trying to maybe mess with your reputation in some way. Maybe it's at work, maybe in some kind of group setting, maybe in a class you're taking. I don't know. But you may feel very overlooked and misunderstood. And it can create a lot of fear within you. But instead of allowing the fear to cause you to be self critical, to cause you to be apprehensive, to cause you to second guess yourself, try to transmute that into a power and allow it to fuel you. So I know that, some people, when they get a heartbreak, for instance, they go to the gym, they buff up, they look good, and they become the best looking that they ever have, right? It's that glow up. So try to figure out a way to turn that sadness or that frustration into something that's actually going to work for you instead of against you. Yes, everything's okay, Lori. Thank you. So this is your advice. I mean, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. This is a season for you where I really want you to plant new seeds, but plant new seeds for you. The nines are all about individuality, and I feel like there's something that basically needs a last push before you get it, before you got it. So plant the seed, but plant the seeds for yourself in your own garden. Don't let anybody else pick your flowers. You know what I'm saying? And fight for what is yours, because I feel like you're going to need to, honestly. I know that's not probably not what you want to hear, but I think it's what you need to hear, okay? And make sure that you have very high boundaries in regards to what it is that you're building or rebuilding, because I don't think everybody needs access to that or a knowledge of what you're doing, what you're building. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. I really appreciate that. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. What's up, Coco? My Sagittarius moon needed to hear this. Okay, good. I know I hate giving, like, the messages are a little like wah, wah tonight, so I'm really sorry. Thanks a lot, Vanessa. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Scorpio. What's up, Scorpio? How you doing? Let's go ahead and take a look. Scorpio, for May, your energy is the Page of Wands. Okay, I like it. Very potent energy, very exciting. Not quite there in regards to the confidence, but you're willing to try. You're willing to really go for it. Why does this beam of light look like a wiener? You guys can't see it, but it looks like a wiener. Super weird. I didn't notice that till now. Thanks, Enigma. The Three of Pentacles for love. Ten of Swords in reverse for career, hobbies, or anything external from you. Okay. Well, I mean, there's either a holding on to a career, a hobby, or something else that has long seen its day, um, or there's a final release of something, almost like an exhale. And I'm wondering if that's what that Page of Wands is about, where you're able to now remove yourself from a situation, or you're able to kind of take those swords out of your back and do something with them. Right now, you keep them in your pocket. The Three of Pentacles makes me feel like you and another person are working really, really well together. It could be that you meet somebody at work if you're single. It could also represent that you and a partner are just getting along, working on projects together. You know, it's good energy. And it's Mars in Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So Mars does really well in Capricorn. So there can be a lot of energy and a lot of drive and tenacity when it comes to building something with another, or learning from another, or teaching another. So let's see what that Page of Wands is. Ooh, the High Priestess. Some of you are starting a tarot business, or some of you are starting some kind of business, or you're very inspired by the occult in some way. The Four of Wands reversed, but there's a fear. or an insecurity? It's almost like those people that learn how to swim, not through swimming lessons or getting a swimming coach, but through, oh, you know what? I keep forgetting that this camera's back. But through being pushed in the pool or being pushed in the ocean, so to speak. But it feels like you're doing it to yourself. You're like, well, you know what? I don't know how to swim, but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to jump in there and I'm going to hope for the best. That's what this feels like to me. I want to see what that Four of Wands in reverse is. The Two of Wands. It scares you because it's something you haven't done before. And not only is it something that you haven't done before, but there's also an awareness and an understanding that you're going to have to leave something else behind in order to pursue this. And it's not just any pursuit. It's your highest potential with the High Priestess. It's your highest potential. And there is a delay or an apprehension towards breaking free. There's a delay or there's an apprehension because there's insecurity, which is common, right? There's a right before we jump into that pool, before we jump into that ocean. Okay. There's a hesitation, or before we do the skydiving, or before we post that first video on YouTube, whatever it is, there's a, I don't know. But this is a quest, not just for something super mundane, but it's more ethereal in nature. It's more inspiring. It's more, you can't quite touch it or see it, but you know it's there and you feel it. And you know that the only thing stopping you is yourself and your sense of indecision and your fear of the unknown and your fear of what lies beneath. Mm. For love, you have the Three of Pentacles, the Celestial Weaver reversed, and then the Lovers. So the Celestial Weaver is a card that is exclusive to this deck specifically. And I'm going to read it out loud. It doesn't give, and here it is. It doesn't give a opposite meaning, or a reverse meaning, but I'll obviously interpret it. So it means power, manifestation, interconnectedness. Here's a power card for you today. This is a message for you to fully allow it to sink in. Weave the fabric of your reality through your thoughts, intentions, and actions. Every thread you weave has a ripple effect in the universe. Be mindful of your thoughts and intentions. What shall they are what shall create a beautiful tapestry of life. You are part of a greater cosmic dance. Your existence is meaningful and interconnected with all that is, all part of the unifying field of consciousness. You are the weaver of your destiny, and with each movement you make, weave love, kindness, and harmony into the world around you. Remember, it's natural for you. Power, manifestation, and interconnectedness. It almost feels like we're building something, but we don't know what we're building. We just know that it's there. It kind of reminds me of your energy, like I was talking about earlier, where you knew there was something there. You knew there's something bigger, deeper, different, higher, but it was unknown. Therefore, it created fear. And I feel like this is the same for this love situation. If you're looking for love or if you're already in a relationship, and so there is this interconnectedness, but there's a lack of intention. What are we doing here? We don't know. Or there's not enough mindfulness. There's something lacking in that regard. So I don't feel like it's a big deal. I just feel like this person or you with this person are needing to be a bit more intentional with how we're going about it, because either the love is there, the intimacy is there, or this is a more of a rare connection, something that you don't get very often. But you guys are learning, you and this person are learning from one another in order to understand what that is. So it's not like we're intentionally being neglectful or we're intentionally being like, well, who cares about where this goes? It's not that. It's that you and this person are trying to figure out where you're trying to go or trying to figure out some kind of role within the dynamic. So it doesn't look bad. The 10 of Swords reversed with the Magician. Oh, I love that. And the Two of Cups. Wow. So this is for like career, hobbies, or anything external from you. This is evolution. This is understanding that we cannot take that other crud or that crap with us with where we're going. And you seem to have all of the confidence in the world to know where it is that you're going. There's a confidence in you and your talents, your skills, your gifts, your abilities. You believe that you have not just the power of the universe, but the power of God. And you believe that you are heavily supported in whatever it is that you're attempting to require. And not only that, but what it is that you're attempting to require or what it is that you're manifesting. Because this is mindfulness. This is mindfulness. And this is the power of the mind, but mixed with the Two of Cups. There's a Venusian and Cancer energy where there's a deep care and protection for the mind or for what it is that you're attempting to manifest. So this just isn't any normal manifestation. This is a manifestation that has grown from trials, tribulations, trial and error, trauma, betrayal, even. And it has given you a stronger mind in order for you to pursue the things that you want, and not just on a mental level, on an emotional level, and being supported by the universe around you. The Four of Pentacles reversed with the Nine of Swords reversed. So this is for your advice. Take a chance on life and stop allowing your anxieties or your mind to sabotage you. All right. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis, which is right here. I'm so dead, World Oracle. I love you. You're so cute. All right. Shall we do Libra? Libra. Oh, honey, please. All right. Libra, Libra. The Tower is your energy. Okay. Starting off hot. Love in your life is the Seven of Pentacles. I like that. Kinda. Three of Wands reversed for career, hobbies, or anything external from you, really. Well, you're letting go of the Tower. You're jumping out of the window. You're giving it all up for the rubble because you trust more what you can build with the rubble than what is already built. And that's where you're at. And it seems like there's somebody in your life that may be very invested in you. They may be wondering if you're invested as well, but they're just invested. They're there. They're raking the leaves, they're building the garden, they're planting the seeds, whatever it is, and they're waiting. But I feel like they want something to go faster. The Three of Wands, whoops, I pulled a card too early. The Three of Wands reversed for career, something external from you, hobbies. It could feel like something isn't coming fast enough as well. So it's interesting because both your career and love seems to be an impatience here. So, God, goodness gracious, Libra. The Tower, the Judgment, the Three of Swords reversed. This is like after the world self-destructs and everything is done, everything is cleared out, everybody's dead, and like the angels come down and clear it up. That's what it feels like. And this is what you're doing. So you're taking accountability for something. Not like accountability maybe necessarily like you did something wrong, but you're taking accountability for how the tower was built on such shaky ground in the first place, I feel. And there was a deep visceral pain that came from whatever this initial tower was anyway. And now there's a healing from it. There's an understanding. There are big decisions that are being made because of it. And there's a transformation, there's a reckoning that's happening. But I do believe that this is you now. You're facing the past through your present actions in this very moment. Because you're realizing that something can no longer go any further. So, whether it's like you have been in a very toxic relationship with your mother for a very long time, but you keep hoping for the best and you keep just being really kind and being nice. And it's like, oh, nothing is changing. And so now it's like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this energy vampire. I don't care if she's my mom. It's whatever it is for you. The Seven of Pentacles with the World reversed. I heard, what are we doing about this? Okay. The Moon reversed. Well, what's the Moon reversed about? The Chariot. It's definitely a like, which way are we going with you and this person? The Seven of Pentacles, the World reversed with the Moon reversed. This is really reveal this reveal of things that have been suppressed for a while, but you already know about them. You already know about them with that world reversed. I mean, you can't not see the world reversed. You know that it's there. It's the elephant in the room. It's the something needs to complete. Something needs to, right? It's shit or get off the pot. It's about taking responsibility. It's about being responsible. It's about finishing what it is that you start. And it seems like there's somebody here that seems to be pretty invested, but there's a cleanup on aisle 5 situation happening here. And it's something that we can't ignore anymore. It's like a damn clogged toilet. It's like a clogged toilet. And there's the Chariot. The Chariot is here, clarifying the Moon, which shows me that there's a very strong determination to move forward. But in order to do that, we have to clear out the muck first. We have to be honest about what our fears are. We have to be honest about our fuck ups from the past, whether that's you, this person, or the both of you. Likely the both of you, whomever this is. If this is somebody brand new, it's going to feel probably like a past person. But I feel like this person is probably going to want to solidify something with you quicker than maybe you're comfortable with, because it seems like they're wanting to go forward. Okay? Even if this is like a situationship, this person is like, okay, come on, what are we doing here? So career, hobbies, and whatever else you got going on. You have the Three of Wands reversed. Keep forgetting about that top camera. You have the Three of Wands reversed, the Ten of Wands reversed, and the Eight of Swords reversed. Well, the bad news is that you're frustrated because you feel like you bit off more than you can chew and you still didn't get what it is that you want. But now there's an understanding that of the decision that you have to make. What's that Eight of Swords reversed? The Knight of Wands reversed. Something is inconsistent in your life. So if it's a job, if you have employees, something like that, you may be realizing like, okay, I'm not getting what I set out to receive on this journey. And now I've taken on something that just doesn't really feel like my responsibility, or it shouldn't be my responsibility. So, I'm not passionate about this thing anymore, or this thing is inconsistent. It can't be here. So it seems like you had set out to pursue something before, but now you seem to be going back to the drawing board because there's an uncertainty here because of the lack of receptivity. The Empress reversed. Well, there's your uh major arcana. The Empress reversed with the Star reversed. Okay. So Empress reversed with the Star reversed. For this to be your advice, a deep healing around your appearance needs to happen. Okay. If you got body dysmorphia, you feel some kind of way about how you look, etc., you need to look into that in whatever way you need to. Even if that means that you have to get off Instagram, stop comparing yourself to people. For others of you, it's about finances or creativity. I think that you have a lot to share with the world. And I think that sometimes you suppress that, or sometimes you feel like it's silly, or sometimes you get scared, or whatever it is. Guess what? Newsflash, everybody's scared. Everybody's scared to be vulnerable, but I think that the one thing that we lack in this world a lot of the times is vulnerability. And if we get vulnerability, we find out it's like somebody faking that they have cancer or something online just to get money from people. So it's like, what can you trust anymore? But I think it's really your vulnerability that will end up being your power, even if you fear it. Because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, our fear is where our power lies. And I think the same holds true for you, rings true for you. So I think that this is instilling hope within yourself again, especially if it's around like taking care of yourself, especially if it's around creativity, things that you want to create for yourself, whether you're a writer, a painter, who knows, whatever, in the beauty industry. I don't know. But focus on that, Libra. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to Virgo. All right, Virgo. What was I doing? Sorry, guys. Hold on. Oh, it's been a long day. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. All right, Virgo. Let's see your energy for May 2025. Ooh, Queen of Wands. Absolutely. Love that, Virgo. In regards to love, you have the Ace of Cups. Could be new love coming in. Could be a renewal of a past relationship. The King of Pentacles in reverse for work, finances, hobbies, whatever, external from you. So, I mean, I like the first two cards. The Queen of Wands, I mean, you know, there's clearly an acceptance of who you are, especially this month. There's maybe a performative thing going on here. Maybe you're performing music, maybe you're performing poetry, maybe you're creating a YouTube channel, maybe you have one. You're really showing your ass, but in a good way. And because there's an acceptance of something, some kind of fear that you had or insecurity you had, there's more courage, which is building more confidence within you, and you're taking a lead in your life. You're taking the lead in your life. You're the main character in your life. I almost want to say finally. I feel like for some of you, but you've been playing passenger for a while. The Ace of Cups for love, you know, can be new love, can be a renewal of an old relationship, but that King of Pentacles in reverse for finances or for work or something external from you. I don't like the King of Pentacles in reverse. He's my least favorite king in reverse. He's a bit of a user. He rides on other people's coattails in order to get ahead. He's like, want to move in? Not because I love you, but because I want to split the fucking bills, you know, that kind of person. So, you know, this can be like maybe it's a boss who's jipping you a bit, or maybe this is somebody in your creative life that is attempting to use you for your followers, or something like that. Okay, so just be careful of like a person like that. Okay, so you have the Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles reversed, and the Three of Cups. Dang, Virgo, this is great. Tell me about that Five of Pentacles reversed, the Six of Swords. If you've had any fears around what it is that you're worth, if you've had fears around money, something like that, it seems like you are getting together with people, or even potentially creating or attracting some kind of audience of people that really understand you. I love the Three of Cups. It's Mercury in Cancer. It's communication with the foundation of understanding another person, opening up to another person, being vulnerable with other people. It's friendship, it's kinship. And so I feel like because of the lead that you're taking in your life, you're attracting people that want to follow you with the Three of Cups. And that Five of Pentacles in reverse, it almost feels like these doubts that you've had about yourself, where you felt like you had to fight to the top, or you felt like you had to maybe do some underhanded tactics, or maybe you had to be somebody that you're not. That's falling away because you're showing up as your complete, authentic, vulnerable self. And you're realizing that it's attracting people to you, as opposed to before where maybe you were more inauthentic, where you're like, where's everybody at? Where the hoes at? Right? No, I'm just kidding. But where's everybody at kind of thing. Or where's my tribe? Or God, I feel like these are not really my people. Well, now that may change, and it's because you're taking the lead and you're just being who you are. And I think that is what is attracting so many people to you with that Three of Cups energy. And once again, it's relieving those doubts that maybe you had that went against the positivity that you're receiving now in May. For love, hmm, why is the Temperance reversed? Justice reversed. Okay, well, I don't know. It feels like something from, let me sit with it for a minute. Okay. There's a new beginning, and I don't know if it's like actually a new person or what have you, but I don't know if it's the right time. I think that if you are looking for someone new, with the Five of Cups in reverse being there, I like that that's there. I genuinely like it's there because it's telling me that you're taking a regrettable situation, or you're taking a sad sack situation, or you're taking a situation that caused you a lot of pain and grief in the past, and you're learning how to create something beautiful from it, or you're allowing it to change your perspective in a positive way. But the problem is that the Temperance is in reverse, as is the Justice reverse, which tells me that there's not quite an acceptance of what has been, or what was, what is, which is making it harder for you to find balance in your life, or find peace in your life, really, and make logical decisions. For others of you, if this is about a past person specifically, then it may be that there is forgiveness, there is understanding, there is an understanding of the past, there is an apology even. But the Temperance in reverse makes me feel like it's really giving me that Mars Pluto. Like, there is a difference in opinion or beliefs, or there's a, because you think about the Temperance and it's Sagittarius, and Sagittarius can be about a higher understanding, a higher knowledge. It can be about philosophy. It can be about our belief system, because it's the ninth house, right? You associate Sag with the ninth house. So it makes me wonder if there's still something. It's like there's a renewal, but underneath all of that, there's something that is still trying to make noise. There's something here that's saying, I'm still here and you're building on top of me. And you don't understand that I'm a volcano. And if you keep building here, one day it's going to erupt. So that's what I got for love. Okay. What's this King of Pentacles reversed? The Ace of Pentacles. Okay, well, I don't feel like it's all bad, I guess. The King of Pentacles in reverse is being clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles with the Hangman. It seems like there's somebody here in your life, and I don't know if it's a coworker or what, but they're offering you an opportunity. And I do believe that something is in it for them, but I think that something is in it for you as well. There's something to be mastered here. I feel like you're working really hard with that Eight of Pentacles and working even with this person, under this person, above this person is giving you a new perspective. But I also feel like something has to, the King of Pentacles, clarifying the Hangman. This is a male in your life. There's a masculine energy in your life who's working on evolving or changing. And it could be a boss. It could be anybody, really. Let me just put it like this. There's a lot of pentacle energy here, which tells me that there's a financial or career component to whatever this is. And the King of Pentacles in reverse is a bit of a user or riding on other people's coattails. But there is an opportunity here to change that, in my opinion. There's an opportunity for this person to work on self, to master self, to see things from a different angle, and to sacrifice their old identity or their old way of attempting to get ahead for a more stable one, a more mature one, a more responsible one. And I think that this is somebody else. I don't feel like this is you. This feels like somebody else that you're intertwined with. Your advice is the Emperor and the Strength. Bigger fish to fry, babes. That's what that looks like. Bigger fish to fry. This is about separating your emotions from things that are going to distract you from the bigger picture and what it is that you need to get done. This is not the time for weakness. This is the time for you to buckle down and do what it is that you need to be doing. That's it. There's no other way around it. So that is what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you so much. I do hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and take a look at Leo. All right, Leo. Cha cha cha. Let's see. Oh God, my freaking back hurts. All right, Leo. Let's see. Oh, okay. You're in the Nine of Cups energy. Beautiful. The Page of Pentacles. This is for love. The King of Cups reversed for work, hobbies, self-expression, or anything external from you. Okay. I mean, you seem to be pretty content with where you're at. I think that you may be focused on a lot of creativity or just simply attempting to enjoy yourself. Page of Pentacles, there's somebody who's offering something substantial to you. It's not just like, you know, a fucking ring pop. Like, I think that somebody is genuinely interested in you, or even your partner is feeling like there's even more to learn about you than they already know. The King of Cups in reverse for career or something external from you is essentially, this could be you, of course, but if it's not, this can be somebody basically blowing smoke up your ass or being incredibly emotionally immature about a situation. So don't buy everything they're selling. You know what I mean? Ooh, wow. The Nine of Cups and the Judgment, the Chariot reverse. What are you afraid of? Oh, it's because you're content. That's what it is. So ugh, I keep forgetting I have this overhead camera. There's nothing wrong with being where you are. And I think with where you are, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad place to be. But I also know that you know that there is more, and there's a reckoning of that. There's a, you know, what do they say? With great power comes great responsibility. And you understand that. And there's a power that's being given to you. There's a power that's being put in your hands, but you may try to avoid it, or you're too afraid to take it. There's a fear there. And there's a big judgment call that you guys need to make, and you know that you need to make it, but you also understand that there's a huge transformation and a huge change that's going to come with this, and it's going to take you being more responsible. It's almost like, I'm not saying that this is what it is, but it's almost like when you have a kid, you birth a kid, or your partner births a child or whatever, and you're like, oh well, no more freaking drinking with the buddies on Saturdays, you know what I'm saying? But it's bigger than that. I don't want to say it's bigger than a child, but you know what I mean. But there's a fear. There's a fear of the change. There's a fear of moving forward. There's a fear of pushing through the fear itself. And going through that tunnel of fear is like walking through a nightmare sometimes. What are we so afraid of? The Page of Wands reversed. You're afraid that you're not going to be able to push through it, but you are. But you will only be able to do that if you have courage. And really, what is courage? Courage is just forcing yourself to do the thing that scares the shit out of you the most, right? Or whatever that thing is. But this is not just about not going out with the girls or the guys on Saturdays anymore. This is something far bigger. And it's great because there is this sense of contentment, and we love that. I love that you're content. But when does that contentment turn into complacency? For love, you have, ooh, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the Devil. Okay. Well, I'm going to clarify the Devil in a minute, but the two pages here, like if you guys are totally single, then there can certainly be something that is said about pages when it comes to new love. So you could meet somebody online, maybe you meet somebody at work, whatever it is. It seems like there are people that are curious about you, or there's a person that is curious about you. Even the sex could end up being really good. Okay, if that's something that you're interested in with that Devil. Let me see. Hold on. What's that Devil? Five of Pentacles reverse. I feel like there's power in relationships, or there's a very powerful person. You know what it looks like to me, Leo? It looks like there's somebody here that you wouldn't expect packs such a punch, but they do. They pack a huge bunch. That's what that looks like to me. And it in turn empowers you. So it may feel, you may end up underestimating this person in some way, only to find that, oh wow, I didn't know you had all that going on, or I didn't know that you were willing to go that far for this connection, or whatever it may be. That's what it feels like to me. I also feel like there's a financial component to this connection. Now, if this is somebody that you're already involved with, maybe they are trying to go into business with you. Maybe they're trying to work on something with you. They may be attempting to empower the connection by working together towards a common goal, to relieve some kind of debts, to get out of financial poverty, or whatever it is. But it's a beautiful energy, and I feel like this person has an incredibly strong mind as well. Just be cautious of obsession, because I feel like this person could get very attached to you very quickly. Okay? Or it's that you and your partner are just having really great sex. Okay. Oh, King of Cups reversed, King of Wands reversed, and the Tower reversed. Okay. So this can be work, this can be career, this can be your job, this can be anything external from you, really. Hobbies, whatever. There's some masculine energy around you that seems to be very pompous, egotistical, arrogant, full of shit. And they seem to not be they're either not letting something go, or letting you go, or letting an argument go. They're not letting something go, or there's no change. So, for instance, if you've been going to work and you've been dealing with some, really annoying coworkers, or really terrible bosses, something like that, I don't really feel like there's a change. It's the same shit, different day, nothing's, and maybe that's what this is about. Maybe you're like, okay, well, this isn't really working for me. So, like, I'm content here, but now what? Ooh, the Empress and the Six of Cups reversed. this is your advice. This is about knowing your worth. For some of you, you went through some childhood trauma. You may have had a rough childhood growing up, something like that. Or there's just a lot of like shitty memories that you kind of still have a chip on your shoulder about. Like, we all got them, right? But the Empress in reverse is telling you that you are more than just your experiences. You are more than what has happened to you. That you are actually the creator, and you can create far more beautiful things than the things that have been lended to you or done to you. And I really want you to focus and hone in on your gifts, and don't suppress your gifts by um, utilizing negative coping mechanisms to numb out the things that you don't want to remember, or to forget the things that you want to forget. And it's telling you to, in my opinion, it's telling you to transmute those and turn that into something that's going to work for you. But don't second guess yourself. Don't second guess what you bring to the table. Don't second guess yourself, because I feel like you have it. I feel like you have it. I think that you're just scared because it's new, or you're scared because there is a fear or a barrier that you need to break through. But you're going to find that it will be the best blessing that you could give yourself. So that is what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read live during this live stream, you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right, let's move on to Cancer. You're welcome. Actually, let me use the restroom really, really quick. All right, 1 second, bathroom break. Hello. All right. Whatever, Lori. No, no snack yet. I just had Taco Bell. All right, let's take a look here. Let's do Cancer. Hello, Cancer. Hello, hello. Hi, Cancer. How are you? Let's go ahead and take a look at what is happening for you in May of 2025. Ooh, damn, I'm not mad at ya. The Lovers. The Lovers is your energy. Oof. The High Priestess for romance in your life or for a person. The Six of Pentacles in reverse. Damn. I mean, in regards to like love or romance or the decisions that you're making, it feels very high vibe. It feels beautiful. It feels otherworldly. It feels ethereal. It feels different. It feels unique. It feels rare. When it comes to maybe your money or maybe what it is that you're putting out there, content creation or work, whatever, you're not really getting what you're worth. You could feel as though you're being taken advantage of in that regard. Now, of course, I still have to clarify this energy, but the love part of it looks really good. I would just be cautious of any unforeseen finances or expenses that you're going to have or work issues. Okay, you have the Hermit reversed with the Queen of Swords reversed. Ooh. This reminds me of not a catalytic kind of love where it's so uncomfortable that it shakes your foundation per se, but a love that makes you see yourself gently. A love that touches you, doesn't push you, but touches you deep enough just for you to feel it, just enough for you to see yourself inside of someone, of another person. To me, this is a love that may be so intense that you become paranoid about it, about losing it, or you may find you become overreactive in some kind of way. And sometimes that happens, right? When we want something so bad or we feel so endeared to another person, there's that, it could be gone tomorrow. It could be gone. It could be taken from me. Something could happen. And you're absolutely right. But to live like that instead of living in the moment and always worrying about when it's going to be taken from you is like always worrying every day about when you're going to die. Nobody should live like that. And so I think that a lot of you, there's some kind of love in your life that feels very intense, but there's this constant paranoia because there's something that you haven't quite reached within yourself yet that makes you feel stable and secure and sane, even in a way. There's something that hasn't settled there yet, like a piece of you, a part of you, a morsel of you. And what you may be doing is you may be looking to this person as a comfort blanket or as a teddy bear, in some way, like this thing that you hold on to external from yourself that you feel is going to protect you from loss or something. And it's because of your feelings for it, but you may be thinking very illogically because it's something that maybe you haven't had before, or it just feels so intense that you don't want to lose it, or, you know, the High Priestess. Ooh, see, 10 of Cups, the Seven of Swords. My goodness. I mean, that, hold on, I got to turn off this TV. Jesus. God. Sounded like a freaking soundtrack to a Danielle Steele novel. God help us all. So the High Priestess, the Ten of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. What's that Seven of Swords? The Four of Pentacles reversed. Okay. I don't feel like that's bad. So there's not just chances that this person is taking on you or that you're taking on this person. It's risk with intent. It's risk with intention. So it even feels like, in a weird way, it almost feels like risk with faith that it's the right risk, or that the risk is worth the reward, or as Minnow Pontero would say, the juice is worth the squeeze. And with that High Priestess there, th- and the Ten of Cups, this isn't just about, oh, a cookie cutter love, great, wee, right? It's not about that. It's something deeper. It's the higher octave of something. It feels like it's more spiritual, it's different, it's unique, it's vulnerable, compassionate, sincere, even a little dark, but in a beautiful way, in a the kind of darkness that welcomes you and doesn't punish you or lure you in like some kind of predator. It feels tasteful. Like there's a good balance of masculine and feminine. No wonder you're so afraid to lose it. But also, the chances that we're taking with the Four of Pentacles reversed and the Seven of Swords, they're not chances that are self-serving. The chances or the risks that you and this person seem to be taking are for the good of the connection or the good of the relationship. Then you have the Six of Pentacles reverse, the Ace of Swords reverse, and the Five of Swords reverse. There's a lot of lack of clarity in regards to your money, how it should be spent, if you're being taken advantage of in a project situation, in a collaborative situation. Some of you can be spending too much money. Some of you feel like you're not really making enough money. And it can be this kind of feeling like I just can't keep my head above water. For some of you, it can feel like you're not really keeping your head above water, or it feels like no matter how much energy you put into it, it's just like a bottomless pit. Can we get advice for that specifically? The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So this can be telling you that you're needing to go back and master something else, or you're needing to go back and remaster the field that you're already in. Or this really isn't a time for rest and relaxation and having fun and spending money. This is a time for fucking work, is basically what it's saying. This is a time for you to maybe try new things. This is a time for you to get out of the spa, you know, get your ass off of that masseuse table, and it's time for you to get back in the office, or it's time for you to do the project. It's time for you to get with that advisor on Upwork that's going to help you build a Shopify store, whatever it is, because this is not the time to rest and relax and hope that everything comes together. I feel like the relationship or the connection that you have is solid. That's great. Now, that's solid. Don't worry about that. That's not what you need to worry about. I'm not even saying you need to worry about anything, but what you need to focus on is your money or is your work. Right. What did I say? 10 of Pentacles, Four of Wands. That's your advice. This is time to break free of some kind of idea that you had for the future or that you thought that you needed to acquire. This is about your legacy. This is about the 10 of Pentacles is not just like legacy. Yes, it is. But it's also about what makes you the happiest. What is the thing that makes you the happiest? And that answer is different for everybody. And that's great. If everybody wanted the same thing, it would be pretty fucking hard to achieve shit, wouldn't it? Right. So that Four of Wands is telling you to not be afraid. Don't be insecure don't be insecure of going or reaching for the stars, basically. Like, go for it. Go if you're gonna go for it all the way. Stop dilly dallying around. Stop dipping your toes in the shallow end. No, 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 no. Go for it all the way, baby. Okay. For others of you, this relationship is it. This is time to seal the deal with that 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. I mean, come on, damn, Cancer. You took the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles both in the upright. Like, if you don't want this dream, I'm gonna take it from you. Okay. But thank you so much, Cancer. I really appreciate it. I hope that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Alrighty. Ooh, hair's a mess, girl. Thank you, Cancer. Let's move on to Gemini. Go big or go home. That's right, Lori. What's up, Infinite? Nice to see you, baby. All right, Gemini. The sun reversed for your energy. The Six of Wands reversed. The Ten of Wands reversed. Okay. Interesting. You're not really feeling it, you know? You're not really feeling it. You may even feel like you're in the dark about certain things. You may feel like you're in the dark about your relationship. You may feel like you're in the dark about your work, career, or what it is that you even really want to fucking do. And so it's causing a little bit of low self-esteem. You may not even be sure who you really are anymore. Or you may not even be sure what you want to become or who you want to become. And it could feel like a relationship is failing, or you could feel like you're being overlooked in the dating world, overlooked by your partner. You could feel like they're kind of moping around with their tail between their legs. You could feel like they're even acting entitled in some way. And with all of that being said and done, on top of it, you feel like you have the straw that broke the camel's back that's hanging around you, or that's on your back now. I feel like you're biting off more than you can chew. It can make you feel like there's too much to handle. The Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords reverse. Well, I'm just going to give it to you straight. I'm just going to give it to you straight, Gemini, okay? Now, this is not the end all be all. It's not going to be like this forever, okay? You're having a new moon in your sign, which looks pretty damn fortuitous, by the way, because shortly thereafter there's going to be a Mercury Cazimi. Yay, we love that. We love that for the Virgos and the Geminis. But that Sun reversed, that Ten of Swords and the Nine of Swords reversed, this to me is a deep rooted insecurity that like came true. And I like that the sun is even here at all, because even the sun in reverse points to somebody who's remaining optimistic through the shit. Somebody who is remaining optimistic while they're in the quicksand, to be frank with you. And I think that you're at this point where you're realizing, okay, like that's done. But it's really the worst is over. And that's why you still have optimism. The worst is over. You're moving on. And to be honest with you, I don't even feel like you're that worried about it with the Nine of Swords in reverse. Is the sun reversed? Yes. But even when the sun is reversed in tarot, it's still a pretty positive omen. Mm, well, let's take a look, shall we? It might be that a relationship's ending or somebody you were talking to. It could be that. This to me looks like somebody who maybe giving you a reality check in some way, or it could feel like somebody's doing that. What's that moon reverse, the world reverse? Can be something from the past in regards to this person that kind of rears its ugly head or comes back to the surface that could feel like a reality check. This person could either dodge a confrontation, or this person can try to avoid it, try to avoid accountability if they're the ones that are in the wrong, okay? And it can feel tough. It can feel tough because it can feel like despite what this person may have done or what has kind of come out, there's a choice to make now. And it has to be a choice that's not rooted in love and romance and illusion and me, you're gonna read me poetry in the fucking Little Mermaid canoe. Like, that's not what's going on. This is, now we need to get real. There may be a situation where you've ignored your intuition for too long, and now you're going to see, hey, remember that time when you felt like this? And I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything. I feel like you already know this. I feel like this has already been taking place. I don't feel like this is going to be a surprise to you. If this is a surprise to you, I don't think that this is your reading, quite frankly. But that's what it's going to feel like. And now for some of you, this could be reversed, okay, where this is you, all right, and you've been maybe a little bit crappy to somebody. but it's like the past coming back for a reevaluation again. The 10 of Wands reversed, the 8 of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Wands. Okay, well, you've settled for something that you can't handle in like a career situation or even a financial situation. And so, because you're kind of, you know what it makes me feel like? It makes me feel like you took on somebody else's responsibility at work, or you bit off more than you can chew, or you're overexerting yourself in a work situation or something like that, or in a project situation where you're kind of doing all of the work and you're going back and you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. Thank you so much. Every man for their fucking selves. Like, you know what I mean? Where now it feels like you're going back to you and what you want and your boundaries and what you're trying to fight for, which all it's doing is really inspiring you more and probably inspiring the people around you. But for some of you, there's some kind of new passion project, something like that. The Two of Cups and the Five of Wands in reverse. So, for this to be your advice, this is not about getting your ego involved in regards to a relationship, in regards to any kind of conflict, whatever. Not to be corny, but this is really about showing up with love, but also protecting your own emotional boundaries. So making decisions out of love, not out of ego, making decisions to, I'm not saying to avoid conflict. I think that some conflicts should be avoided because I think that there's pointless and there's no fruit to bear there. But I think that sometimes it's more about fighting with peace and understanding as opposed to fighting in general. And so I feel like that may be what it's asking you to do, while also keeping your emotional boundaries intact or building them if you need to do that as well. So that is what I have for you, Cancer. I mean, I hope I wasn't saying Cancer this whole time. That's what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All right, let's move on. All right, let's see. Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's see. 8 of Wands. Some of you guys could be taking a trip in the month of May. Maybe you're learning something, teaching something. Yeah, the Fool. Okay. So yeah, maybe you guys are taking a trip. Maybe somebody's coming to see you. Queen of Cups in reverse. I'm getting like a paranoid energy, okay, in regards to your work or just in regards to love in general. Definitely maybe a distrust, or maybe somebody doesn't trust you, quite frankly. You seem to really be going for something this month, and you're going at it with vigor, and you're pretty confident in what it is that you're saying. Yeah, but it is Mercury in Sagittarius, so Mercury doesn't really like being in Sagittarius. So what I will say is like, yeah, speak your truth and all of that. Just make sure it actually is the truth, okay? Make sure it is the truth, and you don't need to be so blunt that it may come out cruel, okay? And I don't think you'd be intentionally doing that, but for some of you, it can come out that way. I like the Fool here. There seems to be a bit of an innocence in regards to a romantic relationship potentially. Okay, we might be doing a little bit of a trust fall energy here. So I feel like these two kind of coincide, but of course I could be wrong. Okay, well, the Two of Pentacles reversed, the Eight of Swords reversed. Can you tell me what that Two of Pentacles reversed is? The Death reversed. There can be a talk of finances here. There can also be a conversation that you're having with another person, and it can be around finances. It can be around something where you feel like something is chaotic, or you feel like you can't handle something anymore. Maybe you haven't really let something go, even though you pretended that you did. So there can be this like, I need to make a decision about something. The Wheel of Fortune, I do feel like you're letting it go though. There's something, you know what this is? There's something that you've been holding on to for a really, really long time. And I feel like it's been affecting your mind. it's caused a lot of confusion and chaos, most likely in your mind, which has caused you to be feel a little stuck in regards to the decisions that you feel like you need to make. And so you're probably realizing that whatever this is, or this thought process or what have you that you've been holding on to for a long time, is actually hindering your capabilities to change and evolve and let go and transform. And so, whatever this thing is that has basically been making you spiritually constipated for a long time, you're talking through it with somebody. Maybe it's a therapist, maybe it's a partner. You're moving through it, you're writing about it, you're learning about it, maybe you're teaching about it, whatever it is. And that's helping the confusion lift, because there's a decision that you've been needing to make for quite a while, and you could have been stuck because you didn't like the options that you had available to you. Or it can be that you were just put yourself in this self-imposed prison and thought that everybody else was doing it to you when it was really just yourself. And now you're at this point where you're like, you know what, not doing it. Not even going to try to understand it anymore, or I'm not going to try to control this anymore. I'm dropping it. I'm dropping what is the thing that we're dropping here? The 7 of Wands reverse. It can be a competitive thing, so maybe somebody's trying to compete with you, maybe it's an actual competition, maybe it's something at work where it may feel like you are or you have been trying to fight for your spot in some way or defend yourself in some way, where at this point you're just like, I'm fucking done with it, I don't even care, this is my piece, this is what I said, letting it go, washing my hands of it, moving on. The wheel is always turning. That's what that looks like to me. So in regards to love, if you're interested in feminine energy, you could be taking a chance on a couple of ladies here, okay? If I may be so bold. Be like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for both of it. Some of you are dealing with third party energies, okay? Whether you're masculine or feminine. This Queen of Pentacles here seems to be pretty pissed about something. Pretty pissed. Maybe saying things that are very mean. I don't know if it's justified or not, okay? I don't know the personal story. And it can be over a Queen of Wands archetype, okay? Now, for others of you, this can be how you are starting to like, maybe for some of you, before whatever this transformation is that you're going through, for some of you, you could have been the very nurturing, loving, caring partner, always trying to take care of everybody and provide in some kind of way. Meh, meh, meh. Now you're like, I'm not fucking doing that shit anymore. It's not doing anything for me. And now you can be kind of turning into this Queen of Wands archetype where you're more the leader, you're more assertive. You don't give a fuck about peace at this point. You're going to do what it is that you want to do when it comes to love. Or if you're masculine energy, then there's somebody here that's doing that. There may be a woman here that's doing this. Then we have another queen, Queen of Cups reversed, dear God. The Knight of Wands reversed and the Two of Wands reversed. Phew, definitely going back to the drawing board. I think you're at this point where you may be a little bit confused about the decision or the path that you want to take when it comes to your career, because you could feel like you're kind of like a dog chasing its tail, or you don't really know where you're going, or your love for something, and it lacks consistency, to be quite frank, and you could feel like you're going in circles. You feel like you don't really know if you want to do this. Are you even taking it seriously? Is your heart in it? So there seems to be a little bit of indecision in regards to your career or your hobbies or some kind of project that maybe you're working on, maybe with another person with that Queen of Cups in reverse, Knight of Wands reverse. But it's definitely a needing to go back to the drawing board. Am I really inspired by this? Is this really doing anything for me? Can I be inspiring with this, doing this? Do I have passion for it? Your advice is the Four of Swords reversed and the King of Swords. So if you have a King of Swords energy in your life, this is probably asking you to ask advice from that person. Think about the most logical, sensible, most intelligent person that you know, and ask questions about that. Ask questions about like some kind of advice that you need, and request it from this person. For others of you, this is just about you. This is about you needing to overcome some kind of heartache or some kind of trauma or some kind of pain or some kind of even indifferent mentality, and really starting to take something seriously and put the pedal to the metal and initiate it. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move on to Aries. Be you saying I need therapy? I think we all need therapy, baby. Let me just shuffle these cards. Oh, thanks, underdog. No, I'm definitely not on fire. I've had a really long week. Like, it's been a long week, and I honestly feel like I'm doing crappy. So thanks for saying that. Oh, thanks, underdog. Thanks, Shannon. I appreciate that, ladies. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to my beautiful Aries. All right, let me take a breath here. It's been a long day of talking all day. All right, which you would think I would like never get enough of, right? Okay, Aries, let's see. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. It's a good humble card. The Nine of Wands. The Knight of Cups reverse. Definitely acting quite sensible. I feel like you have your shit together this month, Aries. Working hard, doing your thing, plowing along, one foot in front of the other, making sure you don't make any goddamn mistakes so you don't have to go back and redo it again. That's basically what you're doing. You're very focused on your money. You're very focused on your 3D reality. And you're open for change. Like, I feel like you're open for change. You're working for change. And you're working really, really hard this month. The Nine of Wands there for love tells me that you got somebody in the ring for you. Somebody's really fighting for you to the death. No, I'm just kidding. But somebody's really fighting for you. And I think you're keeping your boundaries solid. I feel like this person's boundaries are solid. That Knight of Cups in reverse, you could feel like you don't really know what to do, or you could feel like a little bit of a lack of creative inspiration, or there can be some jealousy or some moodiness here. But let's see what it's about. The Two of Swords. Yeah, you feel like you're minding your business. Wow, someone like you. No, I'm just kidding. So you're minding your business. You're minding your business with the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. I mean, I feel like you have a lot of love to give and you got a lot of work to do. And what you're doing is you're finding solace or you're finding peace within both, from both. And you have a lot to give. And I think that you're trying to find the balance between work and love, or what you have to do versus what you want to do. And I think that you're keeping a good balance. I don't think that the Two of Swords is always necessarily bad, right? It's just, it's Moon in Libra, but it can represent like, in order to feel emotionally stable, I need to have balance in my life. And I think that's like honestly all of us, right? So I think that's what you're focused on. You can be offering like your love to somebody new for some of you, sure, but there can also be this energy of maybe you wishing you had a little bit more time for creativity, if I may be so bold to say so. So that's what that looks like. Let me just get one on that Two of Swords just to see. The Magician, you know what it is, Aries. You know that you're bigger than what you're doing now. That's what that is to me. You're like plowing along and you're doing what it is that you got to do with your little fucking ram horns, right? But really, you're bigger than what you are now. So I kind of feel like you're this big fish in this little pond in some way, and I don't know if you see it. I feel like everybody else probably sees it, but your capabilities far exceed where you're putting them now. Ooh, absolutely love the love read. The Nine of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Star, Moon in Sagittarius, Mars in Capricorn, and Aquarius energy. I mean, this is really fighting for a relationship that we believe in, for the relationship that we believe in, whether you know this person already or you don't. But you seem to either be meeting somebody new this month or it's with a partner that you already have. And there is such a beautiful level of teamwork here and understanding and humility and learning from one another and understanding that regardless of experience, we both have something to bring to the table and we're fighting for that and we're sharing what it is that we know with each other. So, not just the relationship can grow, but so that we as individuals can help each other grow. So, there's hope, there's healing, there's vulnerability. How can I better serve you kind of energy, okay? And maybe in more ways than one, but there's a fighting for the relationship, but it's not a fighting for the relationship like we're in the boxing ring and we're ready to throw hands. It's we're fighting for the relationship by coming together and working towards a common goal and not keeping our eye off the ball. Or you'll meet somebody like that. Then you have the Knight of Cups reversed, the Three of Wands reversed, the Four of Cups. It's just once again, it feels like you've had too much of some kind of job or you've had too much of some kind of project. You want more. And the thing that maybe you thought you wanted or the thing that you've been going for, you're going back to that initial decision that you made when you initially pursued the thing that is putting you in a mood now. Is my heart in this? Do I really want this? Is this enough for me? Is this too little? To be honest with you, I do feel like you're selling yourself short in a scenario. I don't think it's the love scenario. I mean, maybe, I don't know, but the love section looks really good and even you look really good, like the energy, but like what you're doing out there in life, it seems like something is missing. But you have to ask yourself like what is the thing that let's see, what's missing? The Page of Cups, creativity. Once again, it makes me feel like you want either more time for love or you want more time for creativity. Your advice is the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords reversed. I feel like you don't have enough information to make some kind of decision. Like, I think that what you're doing is really going to take patience. And obviously, you need to prioritize the things that are bringing you income or bringing in what it is that you need to do. But I also don't think that you should be complacent or I don't think that you should follow somebody else's lead in order to get where it is that you're going. It's like if you want this transition or you want more creativity in your life in some way, this is a time to like sign up for ChatGPT and start having ChatGPT make you a fucking game plan. This is the time to start watching YouTube videos in the field that you want to frolic in. Okay, this is the time to put yourself out there on a dating app or whatever it is. I don't really like dating. I feel like dating apps are full of shit, but that's what that looks like to me. Okay, for your advice. So stay focused, have a little patience. Great things take time, and don't be the passenger in your own life. Thank you so much, Aries. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question during this live, then you can do so at hypsee.com/Violetta Alexis. All righty. Whoopsie. Whoops. Where is it? Okay, there we go. You're welcome, Shannon. Anytime, of course. Okay. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see here. Okay, we have. Hold on one sec. Okay. Delete, delete, delete. Oh, that was nice. Sorry, hold on. What? Where is Cassie? Cassie, are you still in here? Is Cassie in here? All right, let me get a little Clementine, okay? One second. Okay, bye. All right. Okay. Guess I know this little cardigan doesn't match, but I don't give a fuck. Okay. Don't care. Hey, what? Oh, you're welcome. Vanessa, please have a beautiful night. Alrighty. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that looked so bad. I swear these are brand new. Okay. All right, guys. You can get your last super chat questions in. What the hell are y'all talking about? Y'all being flirty in the chat? I can't. What the hell is Tagin? What is Tagin? I forget you're white. Why was it the mini tan that made you forget? All right. Thank you, Karen. Exactly. What is Tagin? Whatever, Carmen. Nobody knows what that is anyway. Okay. Tahine. Thanks, Chris. What's up, bad lady? How you doing? All right, so let me go ahead and start with beautiful Delilah. Let's see. Hello, Violetta. It's Delilah again. I'm asking about this guy, Jacob. We haven't talked since Tuesday, and I texted him, but not sure if he's interested anymore or someone told him something not to talk to me. My question is what happened? Okay, let me see. There may have been something a little unexpected with the Hierophant reverse with the Three of Swords reverse, something from the past specifically. This can be something or someone that he was initially committed to that it had come back around that surprised him. And with that Three of Swords in reverse, it could have brought up some kind of past issue, okay? Some kind of past heartache. So, maybe somebody from your past shows up and all of those negative feelings come back and you're like, oh God, I'm still so pissed, right? So it definitely feels like there's some kind of residual pain here that this person may be still holding on to, where it can be this person is in a little bit of a stubborn battle, or having a hard time maybe letting someone go or letting something go, but it seems like it's a bit of a my way or the highway situation between this person, who you said is Jacob, and whoever this is. Let's see what else. The High Priestess reverse and the Page of Swords. It makes me feel like there was maybe somebody he was spying on online, somebody that reached out in some way, somebody who DM'd him, texted him, some kind of curiosity that he had about someone or that someone else had about him potentially. And the High Priestess in reverse can be a reveal of something that had been hidden before, and that could be where his essential focus is. Because it doesn't feel like it's something easy. It feels like it has brought up some kind of residual pain or frustrations, and has also triggered him to become quite stubborn. So he could still be hung up on something else from the past. But it does feel like something was revealed to him that kind of made him focus or fixate on that thing. That's what I think. You can do better anyway, I'm sure. But I do hope it all works out regardless, Delilah. Thank you so much. You're absolutely beautiful. Um, Privia, work. Okay, let's see. What's going to happen at work here? Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords is being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which makes me feel like maybe some level of independence that you had in some way, or maybe even some level of you feeling like you needed to prove yourself in a situation. It seems like that's kind of done. I do think that we're needing to go back to the drawing board a little bit, and we or you need to seem to work on something or remaster something or refocus on something. I do like that the Wheel of Fortune is here because it seems like some kind of ending or some kind of evolutionary process that's taking place seems to be benefiting you or is going to benefit you in the long run. The King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so I don't know if this is you or this is somebody else. I would imagine that this is somebody else. So I would be careful of like a masculine energy around you who may be attempting to use you in some way or take credit for something that you're doing, or maybe this is somebody who lets you do all the work. Whatever it is, I would be cautious around that person, because this can be a time where things kind of get out of control and maybe there's some words said, but I feel like with that Wheel of Fortune, I do think that something will turn in your favor. It's more about like letting go of control. Thanks a lot, Prevea. I hope I said that right. By the way, that's a beautiful name. We have Anne. I received a confession from a guy I've liked for a long time, but I turned him down because of the long distance issue. Did I make the right choice? What will happen between us? Thank you. Sure. The Five of Wands and the Ace of Wands in reverse makes me feel like even if you were to have actually given it a chance, there would be a lot of ego involved, which would not be the best aphrodisiac for intimacy. And I'm talking physical, and I'm also talking general vulnerability. So I think that I don't want to say you dodged a bullet because it's not like the Tower or the Death card or, it's not anything crazy. It just, I feel like you would have really seen this person's ego from a very ugly side that may have ended up making you less attracted to this person than you initially were. Okay, so I feel like you did make the right decision in my opinion as a reader. What's going to happen between the two of you? The Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, there's still going to be an investment. So, I mean, sometimes I think it's good to put up resistance. I think that sometimes it's really good, especially for women, okay, men too, but it's really good sometimes to say no. Because I think that women, I think we're so used to saying yes or feeling expected to be extra nice or polite or okay. So I think it's good with some resistance because when you say no or when you have like some kind of boundary, you can sometimes see the true character of a person. So if this is somebody who took it pretty well, then that's great. If you feel like they will still try to, I'm not saying like cross your boundaries, but if you still see that they're putting an effort from a respectful perspective, I think that's a good sign. And I think that that may be what happens. The Seven of Pentacles, however, while it's not an evil card or anything like that, it can be where we're wanting more than what we have now. It just may take a while to get there, but good things take time, especially with the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like the both of you will likely end up getting what you want, whatever that means down the road. So maybe it's more the timing. Maybe this person has more growing to do. Maybe that little bit of resistance that you put up is going to make this person into a man. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? So I like it, Anne. Thanks a lot. We have Johanna. I'm a Cancer married to a Leo. We've been together for 26 years with the blessing of two beautiful kids. Awesome. Me and my hubby have trust issues because of past betrayal, and we've been at battle for a minute now. I feel like he's emotionally shut down. I am a bit too, but I'm open minded for the sake of us. I'm still trying to figure out what is the right thing to do and why did he completely shut down emotionally? Is it because of us or other interferences? I just want to know if he's being sincere and trying to work out our marriage out and if he does want to rekindle the passion and trust. Okay, so let's see why he's emotionally shutting down. What's the real reason? What's the root of it? The Queen of Cups reversed and the World reversed. Is this due to a romantic third party? Reversed is no, upright is yes. Yes. Well, there can be something he's still giving to. Okay. It could be someone he's either spending money on or somebody he's been generous with in the past. Or it's just that he's giving a lot of mental energy to it. But usually pentacle energy is more like in the physical realm because it's pentacle energy is like it can be like the physical body or it can be money, right? You touch, taste, smell, right? And then the Queen of Cups in reverse for the World in reverse for why he's shutting down. Well, immediately I thought, well, that's just because, he believes that Johanna doesn't really trust him, right? Which I think that you said you don't anyway. Because Queen of Cups in reverse can represent a distrust. And sometimes it can represent a mutual distrust. And it can be because of the World in reverse, which is unfinished business. And he may feel like there's unfinished business that he may have with another person, or maybe I don't know what his thing was. Okay, so I know that I had somebody who was addicted to porn at one time, and like they couldn't give that up. They would never physically cheat on me, but it was like that, and I was like, oh God, I just can't do it, man. Um, so it can feel like whatever that is still kind of hovering over his head in some way, which is breeding insecurity and breeding mistrust, obviously. Distrust, maybe even within himself. So let's see, what does he really want within this connection with Johanna? The Eight of Wands. Okay. So I feel like he does want to talk. I feel like he does want to learn. So that's good. That means that there is some kind of willingness. I'm going to pull you one more card, the Magician. Okay, so let me put it like this because I wanted to ask advice for you because I feel like you'll need it. And with that Eight of Wands energy, what he really wants is open communication. He wants true, blunt honesty. I really believe that he wants that, but I think he wants to feel like he has the space to be able to be honest. I feel like he wants to feel like he has the space to be able to be totally open and transparent. With that Magician there and he wants movement forward as well. With that Magician there for your advice, it's basically saying that the power is in your hands. So I'm looking at your guys' issues and I'm trying to think here. Now I don't want to assume, okay? This is only a created scenario. I'm not saying that this is you. This is just an example of what I would do in this situation. So, when we distrust somebody and somebody knows it and we know it, sometimes when we try to open ourselves up or we try to open up this other person to a conversation about that, we may not even realize how maybe we're coming off in the moment. But it really is about setting that space to make the other person feel comfortable. And sometimes that means starting out with sharing something vulnerable about yourself. Because when you're vulnerable and you're transparent with another person, that builds trust and that makes them feel like, in turn, they can also be vulnerable and transparent with you. So, and I imagine that that's what you're attempting to do, but focus on how, and I don't want you to tiptoe or act like, walk around on eggshells. If this is somebody who just really needs to go to therapy, if this is somebody who just is really immature then and not receptive, then it's not, to be honest with you, it's not really your battle, it's his. But because it's telling me that he has a desire for communication, that's good. That tells me that there is some kind of openness here, even though the Eight of Wands is Mercury and Sagittarius and is trying to aim at a million different things without actually making the goal, right? Sometimes, okay? Um, but it's still that the desire is there, but the power is in your hands. And the Magician is about using all of the elements that are available to you because you do have them and applying them to what kind of conversation you're trying to manifest or how you're trying to implement it. So you have the power here. So it's about you really setting the stage. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much, Johanna. And I'm obviously wishing the best for you. India. Roast me or gas me up, whatever comes out. Thanks. Sure. Something in your life is not about control. It's not about needing to nut up or shut up. It's not about needing to detach from your surroundings and do what it is that you need to do in order to accomplish things. It really is about holding the space for yourself in order to be vulnerable with self, or in order to create a space for other people to be vulnerable with you. Or it can be talking about needing to go to therapy. King of Cups could be like the therapist, right? Especially if you feel like out of control, or you feel like you're having a hard time asserting yourself in your life in some way, or taking initiative, or maybe you're trying to push down your emotions. Who knows? Whatever it is. But with that Ace of Cups in reverse with the Five of Pentacles, because I'm like, what the hell are you asking her to do? Well, the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Five of Pentacles makes me feel like somebody who gives and gives and gives because they're fearing that they're not going to get back. It's like a lack mindset. It's like we're taking initiative, or we're giving and giving and giving because we fear that if we don't give all of this, then we're going to be abandoned, or it's not going to be enough, or something like that. So I really think that this is about working on your emotional immaturity and the space that you hold for your own emotions, and how you respond to your own emotions, how you respond to others, and the kind of emotional reactions or the kind of emotional relationships that you invite into your life. And so you are a mirror of those things. And so this is basically saying, don't fall all over yourself to prove something. Or if you are giving to situations that are essentially draining you, that's something to look into. What is it that fills you up? What is that thing that you give to that actually gives back? Is it writing? Is it tarot? Is it da 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 da? So, but don't feel like you have to have it all together now either. This is more of an emotional focus than anything. Thanks a lot, India. We have Faith Focused. Hey, love, message from Spirit, please. Thanks. Sure. You haven't lost. You're still exploring, and there's a lot more that you're going to find through that journey. I really want you to uh, be determined to open your mind up to other possibilities in your life when it comes to business, when it comes to something that you're trying to learn, when it comes to seeds that you're trying to plant. Because if you do that, you're going to find the reason to celebrate. You're going to create the reason to celebrate, because the Three of Wands is looking for a celebration. It's looking for the Four of Wands. But first, that means he needs to what? Well, what comes before the Three of Wands? The Two of Wands. It means we need to make a decision that's going to pull us out of our comfort zone. If we want better, we have to do better. We have to be determined enough and brave enough to go after the things that scare us sometimes. But we have to create that reality for ourselves, because nobody else is going to do it. And this is about learning how to do that for you. So if you feel like you've lost in some situation, or you feel like, God, nothing is ever enough, or I'm not really getting what, blah, 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 you're wrong. I think that you're just maybe going after the wrong thing, or you're going after it in a way that you shouldn't, or there's a better way to explore it, I guess you could say. But there's something to be said at the end of that rainbow. There's something at the end of that rainbow. You just have to kind of ride it. Page of Wands reversed, Seven of Swords reversed. I don't know if this is you or somebody else. The Strength card. I feel like your strength is in the things that you're afraid to talk about, or the things that you're afraid to face. There may be something that's making you lack confidence. Well, what can that be? Well, that can be you actually have a guilty conscience, and it's just about needing to be honest, not just with another person, but with yourself first. Because I feel like that's where your bond is going to grow. So let's say that you know, did something behind your dad's back and you didn't tell him, and it was like 10 years ago, and you're like, you know what, I just need to do this. And what you don't realize is that it actually strengthens the bond between the two of you. Now, if you're like, yeah, I don't really have a guilty conscience about shit, well, that's great. Then that probably means that there's a fear of putting yourself first in a situation when it's actually exactly what you need to be doing. You need to put yourself first, or you need to be a little bit more selfish in some kind of situation, but you need to be confident enough to be able to do that. And with the strength card there, that is when you're going to build that confidence, that true confidence, not just like little page of wands confidence. I'm talking like, not that there's anything wrong with the page of wands, but I'm talking about like strength, major arcana shit confidence, which is like unshakable, unbreakable, but it's going to take a little bit of selfishness. Listen, you can't do anything for anyone else unless you do for yourself first. Your advice is the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups. I feel like you have a lot to be grateful for. And once again, this to me is more of an exploratory energy where you need to have a little bit more adventure in your life and see what else is out there, or you're needing to explore, learning new things, etc. Because that's when those ships are going to come in, or that's when you're going to see the greatest benefit. It can also be that you're focused on some kind of loss that you feel like you have had. There's some kind of loss in your life, and it can be that you're so focused on that loss that you're missing other opportunities in front of you, or it can just feel like things are kind of gray, like the world is kind of gray, or you know, it's basically telling you to be more appreciative of the things that you have. And I know that sounds really shitty because it's like, well, I'm not grateful, right? And that's great, but I'm talking about like the little things. The little things that we take for granted every day that we don't realize are so fucking like awesome, like a good night's sleep or whatever, right? I say it all the time. But start paying attention to the little things in your life that you're grateful for, because I feel like it's going to change your mindset. Thanks a lot, Faye. Okay, then we have Cassie. All right, Cassie, I need you to check your email. You ordered something off of my website and you have not responded to either of my emails. And I need you to at least acknowledge that you saw my email. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to give you a refund, okay? And toss out the service. All right, so we have Cassie. Give me something to look forward to, please, gorgeous. Sure, show me only the positive stuff coming towards Cassie within the next 3 months. The Two of Cups. Wow. Okay. The Five of Cups reversed. The Three of Swords. The King of Wands. Wow, girl. Look at that. Who is that? Who is that? Well, this is technically Leo. Two deacons Leo, one deacon of Cancer. Okay. This to me looks like love, romantic love, but it looks like it could be somebody from the past with that Five of Cups in reverse. I don't know if it's an apology. I don't know if you're apologizing. I'm not really sure what it's about, but it is something to do with the heartbreak. Now, if this isn't necessarily a person coming back from the past, this can be somebody new that comes in and helps you heal from the past. And it's not like one of those situations where it's like, oh, you want to get over someone, get under someone new. I'm not saying it like that. It seems like this person is here to heal you in some way, or to give to you in some way, to heal some kind of heartbreak. And I feel like this person is someone you'll be very attracted to, or somebody that you already are attracted to if this is somebody from the past. But this looks romantic to me. Thanks a lot, Cassie. All right, we have Chris. Oh, Chris, you're so welcome. Thank you. Here, let me at least pull some advice for you. The Six of Wands, the Two of Swords. I feel like you're very close to getting some kind of public recognition for something, like some kind of pat on the back, some kind of applause, just some kind of recognition for something that you've done. But it can be that there's some internal conflict within you where you're afraid to achieve whatever that thing is, or there's something that's stopping you from going after the thing that you want to achieve, either because of fear or because of internal conflict, or because of some kind of external reality in your life that you could feel is opposing you in some way. But I feel like your success is through that conflict, truly. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This can just be telling you to budget your money, take care of yourself, things like that, you know. Don't spend too much. Don't spend stuff on things you don't need. When I see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles in reverse, I can see like somebody who's a bit of a retail therapy person. Okay, so like I'm feeling bad, I'm gonna go spend $1,000 on a fucking handbag, or I'm gonna go, you know what I mean? And obviously that's probably not you, but you know what I mean. So, and this can also be somebody in your life that's like draining your energy or draining your wallet or something like that. Or maybe this person will kind of show up out of nowhere. So be cautious, but it is a feminine energy. Okay. So I don't know if this is like a mother figure. I don't know if this is a girlfriend, but there can be some insecurities that this person may have that could end up affecting you in some way. So it can just be either saying like, let this person go, or maybe let it go and not take it personally until this person kind of figures out their own crap. It doesn't mean you have to be somebody's punching bag. That's not what I'm saying. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. And then we have Zaza. Zaza. Hey, V. Who is coming towards me? What does my love life look like in May? Thank you. Sure. Let me see. Who's coming towards Zaza in May in regards to love? Temperance reversed. Devil reversed. Okay. Well, it can be somebody who has some kind of addiction or has something in their life that they use as a coping mechanism, or just something negative in their life that they may start to be honest with you about, or they may be like, okay, listen, you know, I've been really addicted to porn. Let's say it's porn. I've been really addicted to porn. I really want to stop this. And I was hoping that you can just be patient with me, da, 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 something like that. It just can be that there's an imbalance between you and another person, and there's an awareness of this level of toxicity. Okay. And it may be an awareness from another person as well, which is good, because once there's an awareness, that means we can take accountability. Once we take accountability, we're having a breakthrough. Let's see what your love life may look like. There's nothing really like concrete. Like the Seven of Cups is kind of like our head is in the clouds and we don't really know what we're doing and we're kind of fantasizing about. Maybe you have some options, right? But the Eight of Pentacles in reverse tells me that nothing is really meeting the standard, to be honest. Um, you know, I know that sounds crappy, but it can just feel like things are a little wonky, or things are kind of staying the same right now. So I feel like things will eventually get better. I do like the Devil in reverse. The Seven of Cups isn't bad, but when it's like next to the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it just kind of makes me feel like there's no practical, logical, like, you know what I'm saying? We're just kind of like, oh, but no actual effort is being put in, either from your side or somebody else's. Thank you so much, Zaza. It's always nice to see you. Then we have Ash. What do I need to know for May? Good question. Let's see. Ten of Cups in reverse. There can be some family drama or relationship drama in some way, an over idealization of a past relationship or a current relationship. I feel like with that Hangman in reverse, we're having a hard time kind of gaining perspective, or we're having a hard time letting go of something that makes us unhappy, even if it's just a simple memory of like an old breakup. And it can be because we're feeling like something is unresolved there. And usually when we're feeling like that, it's because it's true, right? And it doesn't necessarily need to be that something is unresolved between you and another person or you and a family member. It can just be that something is more so unresolved within self, and it can be more of a personal journey. But we're having a hard time really seeing the truth about a matter. So when we see the Ten of Cups in reverse, sometimes with the Hangman in reverse, this can be a bit of a delusion, or putting someone on a pedestal, or over idolizing someone or a certain relationship dynamic, even though it's not really real, or there's no like real groundwork that's being done. The Empress reversed and the Tower. Okay, so there can be an instance if you're this Empress reversed, if you've been having any self-worth issues, self-value issues, this can be a time where whatever may be encouraging those self-worth or self-value issues, or that lack of confidence, that can basically be eradicated from your life, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Empress in reverse can also represent some kind of creative block. So this can actually be a creative breakthrough, in my opinion, where you may have felt like you've been having some creative blocks, or you may have been having some issues around maybe your physical appearance or something like that. But something may come in as a catalyst, or you may be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to the fucking gym. I'm going to start taking care of myself. I'm done with this shit. But it can be that something triggers it from the outside. Okay. The Nine of Wands and the Ace of Swords reversed. So I like the Nine of Wands because, in my opinion, even though the 10 of the tens are like a completion, the Nine of Wands is an individual completion. Okay. So usually the 10 is like with others, like the 10 of Wands is okay, now we're doing so well that we can take responsibility for our family. The 10 of Pentacles is maybe we've built something with another person, we've built a legacy, we built a business, right? Blah, 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 blah. So the nines is like self. I did this. Nobody else did this. I fucking did it. So it seems like you're achieving something or you're coming out on top, but you're kind of like, now what? Now what? How do I get that final push? The Hierophant and the Knight of Swords. Like, when it comes to making decisions this month, always go back to your morals and your values. Does this actually align with who I am? If it's a no, don't do it. If it's a yes, do it. But this is all about maybe learning as well. So there may be some kind of educational path or spiritual path that you're needing to do more research on or figure out more about. Or, like I said, it can be about learning as well. If this is about a marriage, I feel like there are some questions that needs to be answered, or if this is a relationship, I feel like we're needing to really talk and do the grounding work for it. Okay. Thank you so much, Ash. I really appreciate you. And then we have Timothy Smith. I'm meeting Sophia, who is a Gemini, and I'm an Aquarius. We will meet on July 9th. How do you see our relationship going? Let's see. Okay. Why the Six of Cups reversed? The Two of Wands. So to me, here, I'll show you. So to me, with the Six of Cups in reverse, immediately when you see the Six of Cups in reverse, this can represent like a lack of maturity in some way. It can also represent like we are still holding on to some kind of trauma, or maybe there's a lack of depth, or there's a bit of a lack of camaraderie. Although I feel like you guys will overcome it because that sun is there. Now, that Six of Cups in reverse being clarified by the Two of Wands, it can be uncomfortable because we're trying to figure out how to come out of our comfort zone in order to have intimacy, or we're finding that we're needing to do something a little bit different that maybe we're not used to in order to have intimacy, in order to have vulnerability and that shared camaraderie with another person. But I feel like if there's a will, there's a way, and the sun is certainly the will. So I feel like because the sun is there, there's a way. So that sun is going to outshine everything. I love it. The justice, this could end up leading to a higher connection or a better connection in some way. So it looks very positive. It could lead to marriage or some kind of higher level of commitment, but I feel like it's equal. I do just think that it's going to be maybe a little uncomfortable at first trying to mm, get out of our own way, I guess you could say. Thanks a lot, Timothy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, Lori, for doing the timestamps. Thank you guys, all of you, for being here. I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful evening. And I'm thinking of you, and I love you to pieces. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.